Imagine you're standing in your backyard, tools in hand, ready to tackle your next DIY project. Perhaps you're building a raised garden bed, crafting a custom piece of furniture, or even setting up your own off-grid energy system. It feels empowering, right? You're in control, creating something from scratch. But hold on, have you ever stopped to think about where your tools came from? How did you learn the skills you're using? Even the most self-sufficient seeming projects often depend on modern systems and external resources. So, is total self-sufficiency even possible? And more importantly, should it be the goal? Let's explore how to approach self-sufficiency in a balanced, practical way. The idea of complete independence is undeniably appealing. In a world that often feels unpredictable and out of control, having the ability to manage your own resources and needs can offer a sense of empowerment. It's easy to be drawn to the romantic image of a simpler time when people lived off the land and didn't rely on modern systems. This ideal is so powerful that many people, frustrated with consumerism and the growing influence of corporations, look to total self-sufficiency as a solution. The rise of social media platforms showcasing picturesque homesteads and extreme DIY projects has only fueled this vision, setting an unattainable standard of total self-reliance. However, the reality of achieving complete independence is far from glamorous, and it's simply not practical for most people. Pursuing absolute independence in self-sufficiency can often lead to burnout and frustration. The effort required to achieve perfection in every area, be it growing food, producing clothing, or creating energy, can be overwhelming. Rejecting factory-made tools or pre-made materials might seem virtuous, but it often makes life harder and less efficient. For example, trying to produce everything yourself, from growing all your food to crafting your own tools, becomes a monumental task. As we set unrealistic expectations for ourselves, we risk feeling like failures when we fall short. Rather than chasing an unattainable ideal, it's important to focus on the real benefits of self-sufficiency, such as resilience, personal empowerment, and cost savings. After all, self-sufficiency is about creating a lifestyle that works for you, not one that feels like an endless struggle. Self-sufficiency, in its true sense, exists on a spectrum. At one end, you have low self-sufficiency, where you rely heavily on external systems for almost everything. On the other end, near-total self-sufficiency involves being almost entirely dependent on your own resources and skills. In the middle is moderate self-sufficiency, where you handle simple tasks like gardening or basic repairs, but still rely on outside systems for more complex needs. The key is to assess where you fall on this spectrum based on your personal goals, lifestyle, and resources. By finding a middle ground between complete independence and practical reliance, you can achieve self-sufficiency without overburdening yourself. Trying to do everything yourself can easily lead to frustration. For instance, making your own clothes may sound like an admirable goal, but it's time-consuming and not always cost-effective. Instead of rejecting modern tools and systems entirely, consider leveraging them to make your self-sufficiency efforts more effective. A chainsaw, for example, can help you cut firewood in a fraction of the time it would take with a hand axe, freeing up hours for other important tasks. By focusing on the areas that matter most, like growing your own food or generating your own energy, while still using modern systems in other areas, you can maximize your independence without losing efficiency. To strike the right balance, start by clearly identifying your goals. What matters most to you? Is it saving money, reducing waste, or gaining independence? Once you know your priorities, you can focus your energy on areas that will make a tangible difference. For example, reducing grocery bills by growing herbs and vegetables, or improving energy independence by installing solar panels, are impactful steps you can take. Start small by tackling manageable projects, perhaps learning how to grow a small herb garden or fixing a broken chair. These small wins will build your confidence, and over time, you can expand your efforts to more complex tasks. Investing in quality tools is also important. A good power drill or reliable garden tools can help you make progress more efficiently and support your long-term self-sufficiency goals. Another key element in finding balance is committing to continuous learning. Utilize resources like books, videos, or local workshops to expand your knowledge and improve your skills. But don't feel guilty for relying on external sources of information. It's not about doing everything yourself. It's about gaining the knowledge and independence in the areas that matter most to you. If a task requires professional expertise, like electrical work or plumbing, don't hesitate to seek help or buy pre-made solutions. Recognizing when to ask for help or use ready-made tools will help you stay focused on the areas where you can truly make an impact. The benefits of a balanced approach to self-sufficiency are clear. When you focus on the things that matter most, you build resilience without overwhelming yourself. Instead of getting bogged down by every small task, you can prioritize what's most meaningful to you. By embracing a blend of independence and reliance on modern systems, you'll create a sustainable, practical lifestyle that works in the long term. It's not about doing it all on your own. It's about doing what works and finding a healthy balance between independence and interdependence. The key to successful self-sufficiency is avoiding the trap of ideological purity. Embrace the tools, knowledge, and resources that support your goals, while also recognizing when to rely on modern systems. Focus on areas like food, energy, and repairs to increase your independence. But also remember that collaboration, professional expertise, and technology can help you live more efficiently. True self-sufficiency isn't about isolation. It's about creating control over your life while staying connected to the resources around you. As you embark on your self-sufficiency journey, remember this. The real goal is not to do everything yourself, but to focus on what truly matters and find a balance that fits your life. Whether you're planting a garden, building a shed, or fixing a leaky faucet, the key to success lies in knowing when to take control and when to rely on others. So the next time you set out to take on a project, ask yourself, what really matters in this task, and what resources will help me succeed? By approaching self-sufficiency with balance, you'll ensure a more sustainable and rewarding journey toward greater independence. If you found this approach to self-sufficiency inspiring, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content on practical independence and sustainable living. Drop a comment below with your own self-sufficiency goals or the projects you're working on. Let's continue the conversation and learn together.